Please excuse the expression, but what the actual F is going on? I mean, we have the Zuckerberg video, and then we have the Jordan Peterson interviewing Pierre Pollieve. Seriously, is it time to leave social media? Let's talk about it. Bonjour. Mishko Pognon Kwe Nadishnakas Mangdodem. Hi, everybody. My name is Sandy Boucher. I'm Red Thunderbolt Woman of the Loon Clan, a proud member of Seine River First Nation in Treaty 3 territory in Northern Ontario, which means I am an Indigenous woman, an Indigenous person attempting to live within Canadian borders. I am marginalized. I am racialized. This is the environment I exist in. Now, does it mean I can't succeed? Of course not. I've run my own business for 15 years now. I consider myself quite successful. But that doesn't mean there weren't challenges, and it doesn't mean, as I mentioned in a previous video this week, that sometimes I see some things in the news that may sound like a good idea to some people, and they definitely don't sound that way to me. So first off, let's talk about the Zuckerberg video. So Mark Zuckerberg, the owner of Meta, I guess, which includes Facebook and Instagram and Threads, releases his video, his huge concern of censorship. So, in case you didn't know, and I'm pretty sure I wasn't aware, previously Facebook, and I believe the other platforms as well, used fact-finding websites and software to monitor posts. They were trying to limit false information, fake news going out across the platforms, which is a huge issue nowadays. My heart goes out to the older people, and I'm 60 years old, so I'm definitely talking older, because we grew up in a generation where you could, if you saw news, of course we didn't have the internet, but even when the internet was new, if you saw news, you could believe it was true. We know that's not the case now. There's a whole bunch of posts and websites out there that look legit that so aren't, or so slant the news that you don't even realize you're being influenced. So that is what Facebook used to do. And to paraphrase what Mark said, Mark Zuckerberg, he basically said using that type of software meant that there were cases where innocent posts, innocent people had their posts blocked or restricted or removed, and it was an error. It was because of these other sites. So that was his huge concern. Personally, I think that's the price of admission. Be careful what you post. Right? Or how you phrase it. These rants that attack people just because you're angry doesn't mean you get to attack. I digress. Basically, what he said was that method doesn't work. So now he's going to go to a community-based assessment. A community is going to assess the posts. And are you ready for this? It's the model that X uses. X, formerly known as Twitter, now totally controlled by Elon Musk. And by the way, his idea of an acceptable post is something he agrees with. It could be totally insane. As long as it's his brand of insanity, it gets to stay. And if it isn't, it gets removed. This is what Mark is saying he's going to do with Facebook, because he wants to make sure that no innocent posts are pulled, which means he's going to let the insane run the asylum. Now, to be fair, disclaimer here, as of whenever he implements this, it's going to be in the US only. So it's not affecting Canada yet. But it got me thinking. Because the reality is, I hear it every now and then. I'll meet someone and they will tell me that they're not political, that politics is something they choose to stay out of. And that always makes me giggle because I'm Indigenous living within Canadian borders. My existence is political. The fact that Indigenous people exist and there's that complicated, horrific relationship with Canada makes every word we say political. So we never had that choice. That's a privileged choice. So being political and staying on top of what's happening, kind of something I've done for as long as I've existed. And I've worked in nonprofit management for years, 100% affected by the politics of the day. So if that wasn't bad enough, we're seeing this conservative movement worldwide where this conservative mindset is just rearing its ugly head. White privilege doesn't like diversity and inclusion, and we're starting to see the backlash as if we didn't feel it already. Now it's really gaining strength. So what we saw was Jordan Peterson, problematic. I believe he just moved to the States because he said Canada is just too restrictive on his voice. If what he said wasn't so problematic, we wouldn't have to worry about it. Anyways, Jordan Peterson interviewed Pierre Pollieve, the head of the Canadian Federal Conservative Party. The fact that Pierre would want to do that interview tells me just about all I need to know about Pierre Pollieve. I have not seen the full interview, but I've definitely seen clips of it. And the things they agree on is enough to cause nightmares. So this is the path to hell thanks to the conservative movement. And yes, I'm seriously considering, my mental health's on the line, but I'm seriously considering watching the whole interview and doing a reaction video. I may or may not do that this weekend. Yeah, I would definitely have to brace for that. So we have the Zuckerberg announcement, and then we have the Peterson Pollieve interview. And then if you watch the news, I check out Phil DeFranco. I will link him in the video notes. Love the way he explains the insanity, not only of U.S. politics, he's U.S. based, so that's definitely the focus, but of international politics and news. So highly recommend him. He's been around forever. My kids turned me on to him ages ago. He talks really fast. I'll just give you a heads up. So we have those two interviews, and then thanks to Phil DeFranco, he first turned me on to the idea of what Elon Musk is doing. I'm in business. I've always been of the mindset, if you work hard enough to make a lot of money, enjoy having a lot of money. Elon Musk is an example of having too much money, because it is now very obvious that he is using his money to influence elections internationally. And no surprise, what he's supporting is that conservative mindset, and not small c conservative, not respectful conservative of our past, this new insane movement. And then, of course, we got Trump, who's just about to come into power again, which is insanity in itself, talking about the 51st state and how he thinks Canada just should, wouldn't it be great to join them? No, it would not be. Hello. If Indigenous people in Canada have a voice, how often do you hear from Indigenous people in the U.S., except if it's like Standing Rock, was it, with the pipeline? Or if an Indigenous person gets elected to their parliamentary system, that's about it. That's about it. So, no. We know your history too. Trail of Tears much? No. So, Mia, enough. All of that I should have said rant warning at the beginning, shouldn't I? Definitely got to put that in the thumbnail. The question, after all of this happening all at once, the question I asked myself is, can I continue to support Mark Zuckerberg on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads? Because yes, I have my business page. I have spent money on advertising, and just being there using it is supporting. Can I continue to do this in light of his stance, in light of his kissing Trump's tush, like so many of the rich people, men in the US are now doing? Can I continue to do that? From now, it is not that I don't use those platforms. I'm in business, reaching out to the public. Of course I do. But from a principle standpoint, can I continue to do that? And the answer is a hard pass. So the first thing that came to my mind is, look at the work I do. Indigenous empowerment, reconciliation work, anti-Indigenous racism work. I face enough garbage in my work, let alone facing it in my downtime on social media. And on top of that, I work really hard to create safe spaces on my social media pages. But creating a safe space inside an environment that insists on not being safe or taking actions that will increase the chance that the overall mechanism isn't safe is insanity. So what I've decided is, and even though I never thought I would say this, honestly, my business started on Facebook. Did I ever think I would consider moving that platform? Absolutely not. I have some diehard followers there. But if you're a diehard follower, then I need you to follow me. Because in the very near future, I am going to disappear from Facebook, Threads, and Instagram. For the people that do follow me on Facebook right now, and you love my morning messages, the more personal messages, not necessarily a reconciliation slant, those will return, but they're going to be in the community tab on my YouTube channel. And the best part, because I've been doing the Facebook broadcast channel recently, which is a one-way communication. I put out a message, but you can't respond. So the good news is, by using the community tab, it'll go back to being a two-way conversation. You can comment, you can ask questions. It will be a community, which I love. You will see me on YouTube. I will continue doing my videos. I will post in the community tab, and you will continue to see me on LinkedIn, where there are other people working really hard to make a difference. I am just done with, what do they call them? The armchair critics, right? Those people that rant and rave on social media and do nothing else, including in a lot of cases, vote. So for my mental health and well-being, my mom's teaching. You teach other people how to treat you. If I'm not going to respect myself and take care of myself, I can't expect someone else to. And social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Threads, turning into something like X is not anything I need. By the way, I left X. I believe I left when it was still Twitter. As soon as it was obvious that Elon was going to buy it, I was gone. So I have done this before. I will do this again. Back to my original comment. What the actual F? This is insane. But I intend on doing my work. I just don't need more barriers to doing my work. And Mark Zuckerberg, your actions have the full potential of making my work even harder. You didn't ask my opinion, so I'm not going to play. YouTube, thank you for being here and watching this video. If you're on YouTube, I hope you join me in the community. And LinkedIn, I look forward to commenting on all the amazing things that the movers and the shakers share on that platform. That's it for me. Did I think 2025 was going to be this much change? No. But then I didn't expect the world to go insane either, and I'm going to make sure I'm safe so I can help other people feel the same way too. It's your decision. I can't tell you what to do. but I can definitely tell you what I'm going to do. Until next week, I love you. Take care. Bye-bye.